You don't have to say this. Say that.
Oh, okay. We can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I would like to call this Montezuma-Cortez November 28th school board meeting to order at 6:02. Deb. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, Deb, if you can establish form, please.
Board, are you all logged in to board docs?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're good. Everybody's good.
Good.
And do we have Miss Wright on the phone or she's?
Not yet.
Okay, let me know when she's joined the meeting because we'll need to write the timing.
Certainly will.
Right, can I get a motion to set the agenda?
Make a motion. Second.
Online voting's down now. Goes to all. Mr. Frazier, are you, oh, there.
Yeah.
True, thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
We do have Mesa Elementary presenting tonight. I don't know if they're here and ready or not.
I don't see any of their people, so then maybe there was a miscommunication.
Okay, well, we'll just hold off, and if they show up, we'll go back to them. Okay, but we do have, I do see we have the MCHS drama department here, so if they would like to present their trip, that's con.
Sorry, my name is Cruz Hernandez. I'm the president of our drama troupe at the high school.
I'm Lily Sander. I am one of the improv leaders of our drama department.
And I'm Nicholas Sander. I'm the director of the drama department.
So this year, we are very, very excited to go to the State Thespian Conference, ThesCon, in Denver. It is a big gathering of thespians, and we have over 40 kids going. And of these 40 kids, we have around 30 in some sort of competition, whether that be like singing, musical theater solos and duets, to monologues and scene performance, to tech presentations and stuff. And you compete against kids from all over the state, hundreds of different schools. And it's a very big thing. It's a very special thing to us, and we really enjoy going. So we're very excited to do that again this year with so many kids.
We're also offered workshops throughout this conference. So this can be from acting lessons and it's one-on-one, you get professional help. And same thing goes with technical elements, like you get to take lighting workshops, makeup workshops, all of the above on that. We also get to see 2 main stage performances while we're there. So it's just 2 of the best high schools in the state. They get to bring their show and we all watch and support them as well in that. So,
Do you guys have any questions about it?
Yeah.
When is this again?
December 7th through the 10th. So next Thursday.
Okay.
How many sponsors you got?
We have 4. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you so much.
President Noyes,
Yes.
just as an addition, Cortez Middle School is also going to ThesCon, and
So,
Mr. Pearson, can you speak to that?
Yeah, this is something actually the middle school's been doing for quite a few years. I know the high school has as well. Ours is under the threshold, so we're not, it's kind of just letting you know, but we are leaving to go at the same time. We're traveling separately. We're taking 16 students. 6 of them will be performing during that, and that's where last year, if you recall, we sent 4 students to the International Thespian Society in Indianapolis, and that was a result of their performance at this. And so, that's a pretty cool thing that they're getting to go back and they're sending some more kids. They're very excited. And as they mentioned, they're also, you can see some, traveling troops. This is out of my wheelhouse a little bit, but they're very excited about, a lot of times it is high schools, but apparently there's a professional troop that's coming in and showing some stuff that they can see in the park as well.
So is this the same exact conference?
It's,
Is it kind of
the
separate?
one happens first and then the high school one happens.
Okay, okay,
It
so,
depends the range of kids.
okay, okay. Oh. All right, yes, let us know how it all goes, you know, with all the kiddos. Perfect. All right, okay, let's move on to reports, celebration reports.
If I might.
Oh, yes, go right ahead.
The one item that I would like to share, and it's in my report this evening, and many of you are probably aware of this, but US News and World Report magazine is a paper publication along with online publication. It ranks schools throughout the country, and then it also ranks them within the state. And just something that was pretty cool that I thought that everybody should know. And Katie Nelson talked a little bit about it, but Kemper and there was an article in the newspaper as well. I'm not sure the numbers match up exactly, but out of 1,400 elementary schools in Colorado, Kemper ranked 151st, which is in the top 40% of public schools in the state of Colorado for elementary schools. The next closest one in our region was Park Elementary in Durango at 216. So I think that says a lot about what they got going on in Kemper. Mesa also did rank pretty well, I'd say, 429. And some of our schools, our charter schools and Louis Ariola did not rank because of in-size numbers. So that's unfortunate, but at the same time, you know, we know that they're doing good work. So, but not everybody should be aware of that.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You know, I think in a district as a whole, just even where we've been, you know, even just a year ago, you know, 2 years ago, I just think there's a lot to be celebrated. Little steps, big giant celebrations, all of it. Anything positive forward is definitely worth celebrating.
Yeah, well, and just that it's in the region, the closest to, like I said, Park Elementary in Durango, that extends Bayfield, Ignacio, Pagosa Springs, all the way there, all the way north.
Yep.
Well above Telluride schools. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to see.
Yep. Congratulations, Katie.
Katie?
Speech?
Yeah. Speech.
No, I think I've said it, just validates the hard work that my staff put in every day and experience. It's exciting to see the results of all that hard work. So shout out to my staff.
Absolutely.
And they have an opportunity to receive a banner from US News and World Report that they can hang in the school.
Nice. Yep.
And is that banner already ordered or?
I inquired with Ms. Nelson about that.
Jim's paying for it.
If we had.
Robert's not doing it. Right, whenever we get that, we'll have a
Okay.
celebration with the
Maybe it's
staff.
here somewhere.
That'll be huge, staff, when we get that.
You can buy that banner out of that money that AJ contributed to do exactly this. So
Yep.
that'd be good.
I don't know if anybody has been able or was able to go watch the play at the high school. I was lucky enough to watch it 3 times. I was sad I missed the others, but absolutely incredible. You guys spot on every time. I don't know why. I was just telling Cruz that I don't know why I'm surprised every time, like how amazing it is, because I just know what you guys are capable of and it's just amazing. So yeah, kudos to you guys, like awesome.
I also took in the one for middle school too.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
really a really good play too. So,
Yep. Watch that one.
Lily, her narrating that one at the high school is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Good job.
Mhm. I would also like to just celebrate, I think this is a good time too to celebrate our board members that have been here that will be stepping down today. So celebrate them and their volunteer hours and their time, blood, sweat and tears into all of this. So we appreciate them very much. And I would like to celebrate that we have 2 representatives from the high school. So that'll be fun. I'm having both of them here.
Yeah, I interject that,
Yes.
middle school received word this weekend that we had 10 students who were selected to all-state fire. That's an incredible amount. It's usually we've sent a number 3 or 4 applications last year, so 11 this year. It's 10. So it's
Perfect. Yep, yep. Anybody else have anything right at the moment? All right. Oh, okay.
We received a substantial grant from Walmart, Community Foundation, their fund for our special ed and my students. And that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think that was in our consent. I think, yeah, yep.
I'll announce, and I think that you guys, are you trying to announce it?
No, okay, go ahead.
Lewis received the Laura Foundation grant for $21,000, a little bit over, for security items for our lovely old building, just to get things updated. So thank you, Lauren, for that.
Laura has been a godsend in our district.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years. They've just been amazing. All right, good deal. Okay. All right, moving on to our student representative reports.
Yeah, so I haven't been here for a while, so I'm probably gonna miss a few, but hopefully Cruz will fill in where I miss. I also got to see the middle school play. It was great. I love seeing, I don't know, it's super fun. And I'm really excited for them to be able to move on to the high school because I think you guys have really great resources and you have a good group of kids that's gonna really enjoy that. So that was really fun to see. Unfortunately, I didn't go to the high school one. I was gone both weekends, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know me, I always give the report on FFA because I'm right in the middle of it. So we got done with our first fundraiser of the year. It was pretty successful, but we're really looking forward to doing another one that's hopefully even more successful. We got done with our chapter and district speaking, which Mr. Rice was a lovely judge for us. For both of those events, so.
Lovely part.
I mean, he was the nicest to me, so. But those contests went great, and we had, a good amount of participation, and it was really nice to see some of first-year members stepping up, and I'm really excited to see what they do as they get older. And I know sports are starting up, wrestling and basketball. I don't know the exact dates of first games and everything like that, but yeah, everything seems to be going good.
With soccer wrapping up, we had one of our soccer players, Raul Soto, and he earned the honorable mention by the All-State soccer. So I think that's something worth celebrating. I have a couple of dates to put out there. November 30th, there will be a choir recital at the high school. December 19th, there will also be a winter choir and band concert from 7 to 9. If you guys want to attend that? Got some good stuff on there.
Just popping it.
Do we need to?
Something that I was able to sit in on recently was it was called Combating Youth Vaping in Colorado. So I got the pleasure of sitting in on it. It was ran by Phil Weiser, who's Colorado Attorney General. There was also some former members of Congress, principals, officers, teachers, community members, students, all putting their heads together essentially to come up with ideas and ways to slow kids from vaping, and the big part was that that I took away was that they're seeing it being it's such a social norm now of vaping. So some ideas that I took away from that was some support groups that we can implement. Maybe disposable boxes in schools, as crazy as that sounds, but like an anonymous way to do that. And then hopefully getting somebody in to educate students about the issues and problems with vaping. So that's all that I have. And yeah. Thank you.
Also, one more thing, the Parade of Lights is coming up this weekend, so I'm sure we have multiple groups and clubs in the high school that are gonna be in that. I know FFA will you have one for theater?
We won't have one.
Not for theater, well, band, yeah, band of course will be in it, so keep an eye out for us. And yeah, that's all I have, but.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Carmen, back here.
Next Thursday is the first wrestling duel at the high school.
Oh, okay.
There were also two girls on the volleyball team that made honorable mention, and one made second team all state.
Oh, good job. Yes, all right. Anybody else? Okay. All right, we will move on to superintendent's report.
Good evening, board. First, I would like to say thank you to all of you. And you were the board I came in with, the new guy down there. Andrea, thank you for joining the board. It's been fun. Sherry Wright always told me that I needed to pay you guys because I was having too much fun at it, but it's been good with you guys. I appreciate everything that this board has done in supporting me and supporting my administrators and the improvement in our district. Cody, you said it. It is the highlight of my career. You're right. For the new board, some of the things we have to set down and get some time set aside for, we need to do a retreat. We will have boardsmanship training with AJ Crable. We discussed we need to do strategic planning and bring that document up to date and discuss the direction of the previous board as we move forward. MB, I've visited several schools this last month, and Mesa being one, middle school, high school, Lewis. So not as many as I want, but I'm getting better at it. The CASB convention is next week, the 6th through the 9th. The entire new board will be going to that. I'll carve out some time that we can meet as a board up there. We have to, anytime we meet with more than 4 of you, we have to notice that meeting, and Deb has already done that. So we are good to go with meeting next week, and I know Brad Miller will be coming up, so he will also be meeting with us, and we can have some of the questions that we've been bouncing around already. The discussion about pulling from BOCES, I've been told that we should have an answer by November 30th. It's 2 days away. So I'll keep you posted. I checked right before this meeting and we don't have an answer yet. For the new board, I will get you Colorado statute books, and we'll have a book study. And I'll take you through just the really big ones, the main statutes that we use as an education system. And you'll get to highlight them. You'll know what they say, what they apply to, and use that as we go forward. I've done that with this board. I did that with all of my administrators. It's a better understanding of the rules that we live by. Lisa, thank you very much for getting things squared away at the high school as far as our ESS students, getting those guys all in classes that need to be in classes. Appreciate that very much. Danielle's working on the audit. It's going crazy. Jim, we've got Andy going to be in tomorrow, and I'm probably taking part of your board report, but you know, one of the biggest things that I think we are lacking is what's called inter-rater reliability. It is if I walk into a classroom and Jim walks into a classroom and we observe a teacher teaching, we should come up with basically the same evaluation of that teacher. And that's the reliability part. And do we have that yet? I don't think, I know I'm not there yet. So this is the big push with Andy. That's what I've asked him to do to get us going. Also, I'd like to say that so far, our attendance rate at all the schools is above 90%. That is awesome. And in fact, the high school came up a little bit. You get more days and less absences. It actually raises your percentage. So that's very good. I think Erin's has a lot to do with that. Tell her thank you. I've done a couple of superintendent's advisory councils. Had some good comments there. We are almost done with the calendar for the 24-25 school year. I sent an email or text message to the area superintendents and I said, when are you gonna do spring break? That's the big question. And one of them responded back, I won't even look at our calendar till springtime. So we're ahead of the game getting the calendar done. That's it. The rest of the report, if you have questions, let me know.
Alrighty. All right, let's move on to report D, Assistant Superintendent's report, Mr. Ramirez.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President, members of the board, I have a brief report for you this meeting. It involves the finalization of phase 1 of the train HVAC system at the middle school. In your packet, I'm sure you've read the current activity that occurred on November 20th to the 22nd. With some structural welding that you saw pictures in the board doc. Also upcoming for phase 2, the last bullet references the delay in the receiving of the equipment. So we're looking at rooftop 1 and 2 for April the 23rd. And the lead time for the third unit is June the 15th. And then because of the funding, we still had budgeted for the purchasing of the remainder of the equipment that will be stored at the bus barn until we can get ready to come back to the board for the last phase of the HVAC at the middle school. At the bottom, you'll see that they're going to begin on December 4th for installation of electrical panels and the transformer scheduled to begin that week. Also, we have some issues of fire system issues and a door that needs to be installed for the boiler room. Mr. Lopez, are you here?
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about the fire system?
The fire panel system for the middle school, it's outdated. It's original back in '96. So with the new HVAC system for the duct detectors, we don't have any room in the system. So it might be a good time to update it to a voice activated command system. Because as of right now, you can't add anything to it. And it's kind of getting to be obsolete part of that. So we've been living along with it, but once HVAC system's in, actually we can't even do anything until we actually look into possibly getting it redone over the summer. Due to the fact is 3 units that are going to be installed are new units. So the fire system needs to be updated to match that. We were looking at possibly doing the 2 systems for the 3 units that are coming in, just put a temporary in there. But I don't think the fire coding system for the city's not going to allow it. But you got 2 systems working in the building. They may be able to, I don't know, pigtail them together where if they one hit the pole station and then set all of it. But we haven't really looked at that. So I do have a design to kind of give an idea of what it's going to cost to possibly go forward with it. So might be something we need to look into. soon. But that's where kind of at a stand, we put back the HVAC system. Some
The last item I have is on your packet is about an update of the district's effort to ramp up school safety. So when I began last year in October, we began with updating the EOP manual. We began with training with the staff of the incident command teams on each of the campuses and the administrators. We're moving now to the public and the parents. We put out a notice of the standard response protocols that we use in the school system so that parents are familiar with their role is when there is an incident. Then we come back in the spring, we're working with Jim Stratton, the Montezuma County Emergency Coordinator, and also with Eric Combs with FEMA. And we'll be looking at stepping up on some tabletop and actual active shooter or some evacuation for fire, working with law enforcement and the fire department on these activities. Just wanted to put that out and make sure that at every event that we have, that we're spreading the information for parents to know about that. Parents will know when it happens, the students will know.
You're in.
Okay, thank
Sure.
you. Thank you.
And the staff will know because we don't want to create panic, but we need to practice that reaction and listen to them for those events. Thank you.
Those detectors are on order, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tom, if I may, we had at my school had a training, AVERT, AVERT, it means, trying to look here real quick, Active Violence Emergency Response Training, and it was really good. We got hands-on of shooting, in-school shooting situation. Everybody had learned different jobs, techniques to use to keep the shooter from making too much of a problem for everybody or any, or zero violence. I'm trying to think of the company in Farmington that we had. I can get back to you on it though.
Please do.
But it was one of my favorite trainings I've had. Really good hands-on and learned a lot and had some really good videos and information, so.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was really good.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think that's one of the places that Eddie and I have seen a pretty lax system here is really the safety. And again, Eddie and I, kind of after the fact with Eddie, but I've been through that, no fun. And people think that once you get the situation taken care of, you're okay. It's just starting. So
Yeah, the
thank you for
company
that.
was out of Farmington, not AVERT. That's a nation thing, but the company was out of Farmington. It was husband and wife. She was an EMT. No, she wasn't. She was a police officer.
Okay.
And he was a fireman in Farmington. They're both retired and now they do that. So
Cool.
really
Yeah.
good.
Very good. Thank you.
Eddie, I have a question. I have a thought. Is the participation doing well with Toya? People come up, EMS, law enforcement, has it also been
Yes.
part of that?
Yes, he's been very active with us and in fact, I meet with Jim Stratton and Jerry this coming week as we plan the spring activities. So they have very great knowledge. He's been in the Columbine situation. So it's just an extra resource that would be excellent for us to coordinate services. Because we also need to communicate with, at the time of the event, Toyak as well. Because our public information officer and the coordination, this is going to be practice for the whole district. It won't just be the campus. It'll be how the traverse commands the overall incident. We coordinate with law enforcement, how a radio bridging occurs, how the law enforcement reacts to fire. Everyone, this is going to be practice for everyone. And so I'm kind of excited about that. Can't plan enough for those kind of situations.
I think that moving into Toya would be really, really good for the community, knowing how it's gonna take effect. Cause they never saw something like that.
Yes.
So again, with that being said, I think, hats off to that, and we gotta, because not only that, there's a lot of issues within our community as well with law enforcement too. And we gotta make sure they're participating, and we're lacking right now, law enforcement, so that would be a blessing to the community's eye, especially for the young folks.
Yes.
So again, I really, really encourage that to continue to happen. And yes, the EMS acting director, he has a lot of skills and a lot of character and most important, a lot of experience.
Yes, sir.
So I really encourage that. So thank you, Eddie. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
All right, let's move on to the Executive Director of Student Academic Services Board Report, Ms. Neagle. Oh, that's you. Sorry. I was like, sorry, Mr. Parr.
It's not the worst thing. It's
Yeah. I see
Probably not.
services and I just assumed, yep.
Madam President, School Board, I too have a fairly brief report that I shared with you this evening. There are a couple things I'd like to go over. The first item is that in the coming year, we have 2 charter school renewals. Their applications have been submitted, and just want to review the timeline briefly with everybody here so that you're aware of what that's going to look like. It starts, obviously, yesterday was when the applications were due. Both were turned in. Next Monday, those applications will be reviewed by the District Accountability Committee for input. I have a rubric that I've provided each of them, and they will go through the applications and look at the rubric and then provide some feedback. And then I will bring that feedback to the board. Not at the December 18th meeting, but at the December 18th meeting, both charter schools will provide a brief presentation. Just kind of this is who we are, this is what we've done, kind of around their application and why they should be renewed. And then the board will, on January 23rd meeting, if I have that date right, will be voting to approve or disapprove charter application. And at that time, I will also share the recommendation from the District Accountability Committee going forward. So, and then in the spring of 2024, new contracts will be generated for those schools, and once those are completed, it will all go to the Department of Education, and upon their review, ultimately for the 24-25 school year, they'll start new contracts. So that's the timeline for that. The next item, I had that celebration obviously in my report. A couple of upcoming events or things that are taking place. If you may remember, last year we engaged in applying for something called an EASY grant that provided some resources for the board and actually for the district and for Mesa Elementary. We're going to go forward again this coming year with another EASY application, not for the entire group, but for Mesa again and for the high school, because those are 2 schools that could potentially qualify for some of these resources. So we're pushing forward with completing that application. Let's do next week, I believe. Another grant situation that you guys will be actually directly dealing with tonight in the consent calendar is the ELO grant. This is basically a grant that we received in agreement with the St. Vrain School District, and it provides resources for our summer school program at Kemper Elementary. And upon your approval and Mr. Burris's signature, then we will re-engage with that. It roughly has paid, Ms. Nelson, what would you say for the $100,000 per year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's been a great benefit to have that. All right, the next item I have is, as Mr. Burris referred to, our CDE collaboration, starting tomorrow. Members from the Colorado Department of Education, Andy Swanson, and other teammates of his will be here to begin working with us on a couple of items. Our overall vision of instruction is something that we'll be discussing and basically coming up with more or less like a vision statement around instruction for the district. And then, working with principals and administrators to get to that place of integrated reliability that Mr. Burris is referring to. So, that'll take place over the next few days. Full smash, we start tomorrow. Mr. Pearson has been the willing, voluntold victim of hosting all of this, but he's a good sport and has a good place for that to happen. So we'll be over there flooded, the building, going through classrooms and working on how well we do evaluations. So that's exciting work that we're doing there. Something else to keep everybody abreast of is that our mid-year assessment windows are starting to open up. Our STAR testing for math and English language arts will begin on December 11th. That runs through January 18th. And then our STAR, or not our STAR, but our mid-year assessment window for DIBELS, which is for our primary students that are helps identify if the student needs to be on a read plan or not. That's taking place. It started today actually and continues to the 16th of December. Point to know, or why that's helpful to know, is by the time we get into January, we will be having schools and the district sharing out some data with you guys about how everybody's performing at this point and what we need to do to look forward. So to that point, I'm skipping just a little bit here, but we'll be using that data or starting to use some of that data for our planning for January 8th. That's the day that we come back after the winter break, and it's a work day. We plan to take some time that day for our admin teams and teachers to get together to look at some standards, see how we're doing, see where we're at, see what we need to do to go forward through the end of this year, so that we can work on being successful for our state testing window. So that will be taking place shortly. And the last item I have in my report is just to keep you abreast of some things. We've had some discussions with vendors and internally about a couple of items. One being a student information system, basically a PowerSchool type system that would do a number of things, too many to list right here at this moment. Also potential data warehouse systems that we might be looking at. So those are things that we've been in conversations with for about the last month, and we'll continue probably here as we start talking about budget for the next year. So that's the bulk of my report. Are there any questions?
Yeah, any chance you can maybe touch up on the student outcomes, because it looked pretty good.
Student.
Yeah, you should, according to the strategic plan, the student.
Well,
outcomes.
yeah, so I've kept those in there as of course I promised as part of my report that I would continue to leave that information in there.
Yeah.
We reviewed it before, but I can continue to do that again.
And well, no, I mean, it looks like from the last one where we're making some of those metrics. And we're gonna be, when are we gonna know the next set of data points?
Well, that's probably in January.
Okay.
After we get through this assessment block.
And then we'll have an updated one.
Yeah, that's when we'll have more up-to-date information, at least from a reporting sense. Our teachers and principals are working data constantly, but from a district level, as far as like what I see here, yeah, that will be more updated in January.
Yes.
Just a quick question. So on the student information system, the data warehouse, and you mentioned PowerSchool, are we looking to replace PowerSchool with something that has all of this, or was that just a comparison, like something similar to PowerSchool?
So the systems that we've been looking at, they technically, yes, they would replace a PowerSchool.
Okay.
But we're not trading something. First of all, we haven't gotten to that place yet,
Okay.
but we wouldn't be trading something for less.
Right, okay.
What we would like is something that is more robust. PowerSchool has worked well to a certain degree for a long time. There are components of it that may currently, what we have with PowerSchool is something called self-hosting. And what that means is we have the servers here and it holds all of our information here. Well, any company now that you go to is cloud-based, so all of the data is stored in the cloud. And you can't even entertain going into that. What that has done for us over time has, it's driven the cost down. But ultimately, at some point, it's going to go away. They're not going to offer that service. So it's something that we want to look at and be a little proactive with. Plus, we're looking at things like providing quality information to parents on a timely basis. You know, I know people can sign into PowerSchool now and check grades and things like that, but this would be, you know, more along the lines of sending out emails and texts when assignments are missed. You know, if your student's absent for the day, it will kick that out to you. I mean, there's a whole host of features that the products we're looking at would house and provide us that are just what I call like a next level above where we're at currently.
Okay, so this is a ways down the road, because I did see on our consent calendar,
Well, I mean,
The
there's
bill for
taking place
PowerSchool.
now because it may be something that we look to in the near future. It takes about 6 months to set those things up, so we would
Okay.
need like all of the spring and then before we could get into next year.
oh,
So but I wanted to put it on your radar, so it's not something that sounds foreign to everybody, because it is something we're looking at.
I think the biggest advantage to this of transferring is right now, because of the COVID, you guys used Google Classroom. Google Classroom does not talk to PowerSchool.
It does, it can.
Oh, it can?
Mhm.
Well, this Alma that we looked at does. So if Google Classroom.
We made that transfer 2 years ago.
Really?
It'll transfer right over, not manual.
I need to know your
Yeah.
technology, guys.
No.
Well, and see, that's
It
part
will.
of
It
the
will.
issue is, we have a lot of, obviously you have a lot of data, a lot of information running around. And currently, a lot of that has to happen manually.
Right.
And
Oh, that
Davis,
takes, that's time.
our tech person for that is someone who, I mean, she lives and breathes that basically.
Yeah.
And we'd like to be in a better position, with that. So
Yeah,
if that's the case, we certainly want to know
because we,
how that can happen.
I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I'm not the.
Well, and
yeah, I'm not either.
And that's the other thing too, like with PowerSchool, anytime there's a new feature now that we want, we have to pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it-
And that might be the issue right there. I like PowerSchool personally. I don't like Google Classroom. But that's an opinion.
Okay,
That's an opinion.
good.
okay.
Thank you.
Was there a vendor that's sort of top of the list?
Well, we've been talking with a company called Alma. SIS, which is Student Information System. And then for data warehousing, there's a company called Aubrey, ABRE. We've been speaking with. And you may get a chance to meet them next week at CASB, because I think both of those companies. will be there.
I do think I remember some of those up there because, but I think that was, gosh, three years ago, maybe. Because the board members at that time were wondering if we needed to upgrade from PowerSchool to something that was a little more, I don't know, if it was more user friendly or just did a whole lot more.
Well, there are components of that as well, so.
So. All right, well, just keep us posted on that. All right, okay, Executive Director of Human Resources report, Seldridge.
Good evening, Madam President Noyes, Board of Education members, and Montezuma-Cortez School District RE-1 Superintendent, Mr. Burris. Would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Sherry Wright, Cody Wells, Lane Frazier, Linda Wall, and Jeanette Hart for the time they have served Montezuma-Cortez School District. It has been a pleasure working with you. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. Would also like to welcome our new incoming board members and look forward to working with you all while serving our district. As with my report each month, I have it separated, and the first section is regarding our benefits. We have recently renewed for the new 2024 year. So I would like to present an update on what we have accomplished. At Montezuma-Cortez,
School District RE-1, we recognize our ultimate success depends on our talented and dedicated workforce. We understand the contribution each employee makes to our accomplishments and so our goal is to provide a comprehensive program of salary and competitive benefits to attract and retain the best employees. Through our benefits program, we strive to support the needs of our employees and their dependents by providing a benefit package that is easy to understand, easy to access, and affordable for all our employees. Our district is proud to offer our employees these 3 different medical plan options to choose from this year, including a high deductible plan that is a HSA qualified and 2 traditional co-pay plans. Anthem is the district's medical insurance provider, and although there will not be any changes to the plan designs being offered this year, there has been a slight increase in employee independent coverage premiums. By downloading and registering with Sydney Health, employees can find everything they need to know about their medical, pharmacy, dental, and vision coverages in one place. They can access the benefit information, find a doctor, or even track their fitness. Anthem also offers the Engagement 700 Wellbeing Solutions program where employees can earn up to $700 with easy-to-use health and wellness tools. Finally, the Anthem Employee Assistance Program, or EAP, is available 24/7, 365 days a year, and everything an employee shares is confidential. The program covers up to 6 counseling visits per year for each member of an employee's family, as well as legal, financial, emotional, and crisis resources. Mental health resources are very limited in this area, and this offers our staff a direct line of care. We held our first wellness fair on Friday, November 10th at the Montezuma-Cortez High School Commons and had several local and regional businesses and resources available for staff. Representatives from USI, Anthem, and Proximal were on hand to answer questions and assist with our open enrollment. There has been genuine appreciation and positive feedback from staff regarding the fair. Every attendee who signed in at the HR booth was entered into a drawing for a $500 Best Buy gift card from Proximal. Employees who registered with our benefit providers and 3 additional businesses who had booths were entered to win numerous prizes. Those who won include the Best Buy 500 gift card winner was Teresa Kraus. Drawing winners included Heather Cross, Gina Littlefield, Jason Morgan, Debbie Gardner, Kathy Ellen Lewis, Shelley Curtis, Celeste Lamson, Nancy Shaw, Julie Engel, Lynn Powers, Rita Trick, Diane Rosales, Mary Maris, Cindy Gap, Mary Jo Garcia, Natalia Erlinson, Anna Edgington, Robert Lehman, NC Randalls, Alexa Lalonde, and Tristan Henderson. As you can see, we had numerous winners. The school with the highest percentage of attendees was Beach Street Preschool with a 71.43% of staff attendance. And to recognize that, we provided a healthy lunch for them the following week. We've also established a wellness committee and held our first meeting November 8th, 2023. The goals of the committee were established and members were asked to provide feedback to the campuses they represented. The mission of the committee is to encourage employees' personal and professional productivity and physical and mental well-being. We hope to promote a worksite culture that supports employees' desires to make healthy lifestyle choices. The committee will also be involved in the 2024-25 benefit renewal process, as well as serve as the sick bank committee. Montezuma-Cortez School District is offered up to $15,000 annually in reimbursable funds to be spent on health and wellness. The wellness fair was covered financially by Anthem, and we have additionally purchased punch passes to the rec center for our employees to use up to 3 times per week. This is a great benefit for our staff to focus on their health and wellness. Our HR updates include, as discussed during the recent board retreat, a Fair Labor Standards Act FLSA federal guideline has generated a controversy with our district's coaching staff. Under the FLSA, a non-exempt employee is an hourly classified employee who is not exempt from overtime pay. This would include paraprofessionals, maintenance or custodial employees, nutrition services, transportation, or any administrative assistance or secretarial staff. A non-exempt employee can work up to 40 hours in a work week, and any time over 40 hours must be paid at 1.5 times the employee's hourly rate. These standards are non-negotiable. The district has a few non-exempt employees who are also coaching for the middle school and the high school as head or assistant coaches. There are also several non-exempt employees who officiate games, run the scoreboard, or take tickets at admission. We have referred the matter to the district's legal counsel, who has advised us of the financial liability we face and how continuing to offer both non-exempt employment while coaching could lead to an excessive amount of overtime for those who do both. While we rely on volunteers and those who fall in this category to continue our athletic programs, we must be diligent in monitoring work hours to not exceed 40 hours in a work week. This has presented the district with an undue hardship in filling the positions needed to coach, officiate, score, and take tickets for all areas of school activities. We have requested information from other districts throughout the state and have reviewed a few options with our attorney. However, the liability remains and the potential risk to our district increases with every violation of this federally mandated law. As we continue reviewing this and discussing during the work session, we will provide updates as it is received. During the October community address the board, a community member had requested the HR report include an overview of staffing updates. To provide transparency, the following is an update for the month of November. New hires include 2 custodians, a school secretary, an ESS paraprofessional, and a MCSD high school administrator. We've also hired 4 substitute teachers and 1 substitute custodian. There's been 1 internal promotion and 4 transfers within the district. I've received a retirement notices from a teacher and 1 from our nutritional services department. We've received resignations from 3 paraprofessionals, 2 assistant coaches, and 1 head coach. I've also processed 39 stipends this month for teacher mentors, leadership team members, gifted and talented liaisons, FFA sponsor, communication liaison, freshman class sponsor, sophomore class sponsor, the CTE lead director, and AP coordinator, and the RTI MTSS team leader. Attached to my report are the current openings for November 2023. And finally, a new employee orientation will be held for all newly hired staff on this Friday, December 1st, 2023.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? Yes.
No, I don't. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Aldridge? No.
She's good.
Okay, now we will move to Executive Director of Exceptional Student Services report, Ms. Mabel.
Thank you. I just wanted to provide some information, just the areas that I've been focusing on, as well as areas of consideration and investigation. With the special education department, really working on consistency and meetings, following the laws, and making sure that everybody knows what those are. So we're doing some training in those areas. Progress monitoring is going on. Those are valuable data to help us to make good decisions. And with that, appropriate assessment and identification processes. Really looking at increasing the opportunities for inclusion. So how can we help more students, although with some special education support needs, how can we get them into more classes? Because that's where the most instruction is happening. Building professional development. I'll be working with the special education teachers as well as paraprofessionals on Friday. And then I've gone out and done some verbal de-escalation training with transportation And I've done some other trainings with charter schools as well as our district employees. And then looking at some specialized programming and opportunities when we have students that have needs that kind of exceed that which is simple, I guess. And so the outside of the box thinking and how can we creatively meet the needs of various students and building, doing some work, with building some community partnerships is what I've been working on. Leading into all of that, was looking at the different tiered interventions within school districts, looking at language differences. How are we handling things as this transition and meeting the needs of students as they transition from our school system into adulthood, making sure that we have that we're focused on outcomes, looking at staffing needs, moving academic assessment. So currently our the BOCES has been doing academic achievement assessment for students, and that really is something that usually falls on special educators, on the teachers. And I think that's something that one BOCES is going to step back from, so I need to make sure the teachers are trained for it, but there's such a benefit to them doing their own assessments, actually working with the student and seeing all of those processes. So currently looking at purchasing those assessments and then looking at graduation requirements and pathways to make sure that they're fairly aligned so that we can meet the needs of all students. Any questions about that? I guess we'll read, but no. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. All right, Director of Finance report, Bradford.
I'll start tonight as usual with just mentioning those in our community who have given the district donations. The Chamber of Commerce held a window decorating contest around homecoming and chose first, second, and third place winners, and then those businesses then donated their winnings to schools. So KB Insurance Agency was the first place winner and donated $200 to the boys golf team. The Station Boutique was the second place winner and donated $200 to the high school football team. And then Cortez Vision came in third place and donated $100 to the high school theater. The Montezuma County 4-H stakeholders donated $801.60 for scholarships. Juanes donated $800 to Mesa STEM program, $800 to the Kemper STEM program, and $800 to the Luz Areola STEM program as well. And then as already mentioned tonight, we received the $21,618 for Luz Areola safety building improvements from the War Foundation. And then Walmart donated $3,000 for Mesa Elementary life skills and IEP programs. So we appreciate all of those, the very supporting community. In our finance department, we have a lot of things that are going on right now, such as the audit and student counts and mill certifications and everything like that, but nothing really finalized at this point. So right now, I don't have a lot to report on. Come December, January, we'll have a lot more coming up. Our audit is just about finished. Right now, we're just finishing up tying out with the charter schools. So please anticipate a presentation on that at our December board meeting. The certification of district mills, that was something, there's been a lot of fluctuation there. We were waiting to hear from Proposition HH to know when our deadlines are. That did not go through, but then there was a bill that came through. So even as of yesterday, our dates have changed. We now have until January the 13th to certify our mills. So rather than doing that at the special meeting in December, I think doing so at our regular board meeting will be just fine. Student count, we have some preliminary numbers. We're looking at just 2,000 students after subtracting our online students and the charters. That if you compare that with the schools being counted this year to prior years, we're at about 10 students. However, none of that will be finalized until January. So I just wanted to give an update as that's been the topic of conversation. On the consent calendar, we have several items. We have several requisitions over $5,000 for curriculum, for the trips, and things of that nature. We revised the salary schedule once again, and it all has to do with our stipends. There, indeed, there are some tasks that are being done that were previously funded through stipends, and we tried to bring that into positions. So you'll see the revised school secretary and finance secretary salary schedule, which includes the works of the registrars. And then we've included or added some new stipends, not so much new, the CTE stipend has been reoccurring. That one, I had a question, just trying to figure out what made most sense for that, but that is back for this year. We'll continue to look at what makes sense for that one. And then we have another mini academy coming up that'll be funded through Title II. Then we have some meetings that'll be scheduled in the next month, so we'll probably have more additions in December, but as of right now, we have those 4 additions. There is a new MOU for Check and Connect through the Pinion Project. We had originally presented that as a $50,000 MOU for 2 positions through the Stronger Connections grant. But we have received, we've confirmed that there are also funds available through Title IV. So that's a total of $100,000 for 4 positions with the Pinion Project for Check and Connect. That is all I have. Are there any questions?
Date on that for the certifying of the mills, January, you said?
So we have until January 10th to certify. The county assessor has until January 3rd.
There's reasons for us to have that special meeting then? December 13th?
The special meeting was for the interviews.
Oh, okay. So it's only for that.
Any other questions for Ms. Crawford? Okay. Sherry, I'm just checking. Are you still with us?
Hello, Sherry.
I'm still with you.
Okay,
I
right.
was on mute.
Okay.
Okay.
Just checking. All right, we are moving on to board reports. Do we have any board reports at this time?
Well, they had this finance part from CASB that they send out quite often. I don't know if everybody else looks at this and stuff, but there's a lot of different stats they put in here. But a couple of them that I looked at was the Colorado's average teacher salary in 21 to 22 is more than $6,500 below the national average. And when adjusted for inflation, Colorado has had a 16.7% decrease in salary since 1992 to 93. So those were not good numbers to see in here. And it has a lot of student to teacher ratio numbers and a lot of different stats about that. So those are a couple of them.
Okay. Yes, Linda.
I have one. I've been working on the Toyota
I think in 2 days, okay?
for K-12, and we're at early start. And that's something we have never done. A lot of issues that on our K-12 and Toyota. And I think if we take this, we'll have a better understanding what we're about to achieve. And again, the board, a 5-member board, that would really be helpful in that case. And again, we like to have that relationship that we should have that establishment, the K-12 board, and as well the RE school board as well, have that collaboration and making good efforts regarding with our K-12 board. We can adjust to funding, truancy. Most important thing is that collaboration, working together. That's really needs to be started, because I believe in that, because there's just so much issues that we're dealing with our children in Toyota, or shall I say, in district here as well. And again, I think through the week, we had some issues and doing some thoughts that made it for this far. And we have a lot of individuals that's with expertise in the field, willing to give the best for the board that's coming up. It's coming in the future. Hopefully, per se, it might be here in mid-summer of next year. So it's something that I would like to see, and I think all of you agree with me, especially the educators and principals,
because that's something we can relate to as a relationship with our board, because it manufactures a lot better efforts in one-on-one and it getting blown out of proportion. And I think, the council on the other end are excited to see what will take place of it. And there's a lot of excitement on that because it's like I said, it's something new and we want to achieve that. And we want to have it to everybody's been heard respectfully. So I just wanted to bring that up since, and again, on the other hand, thanks the boards for, working with you and also working with all the educators out there. It's good. You always learn something new. And respectfully, it's, you know, again, this was one of the best boards I have sit considerably. I'm not saying it just to say it. Out of 18 boards I sit, this is the best I've, top 3.
We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it.
It's up there.
All right. Number 1. Let me rephrase that. Number 1. Once again, it's all about working, teamwork. And of course, sometimes get under the collar, learn to control yourself. But it's always laughter is good. You guys got my punchline. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, but anyway, with that said, thanks everyone. Again, I'll be still around the neighborhood. I will still be working the application where I sit as well. And there's always a commitment there. That's part of our tribe's, one of our priorities that we hold as a council seat. And again, like I said, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
Linda.
Anybody else have anything this time? All right, we will move on to citizens address the board. You should have turned in your filled out ticket prior to the meeting.
Yep.
And 3 minutes. So we will start with MB.
I think there should be a new board every meeting because I haven't seen the board really this full and I've been coming to board meetings for more than 2 years. So this is pretty nice to see so many people interested for a lot of different reasons. I wanted to say thank you to the board members that are departing. Thanks for speaking up. Thanks for adding your knowledge to the knowledge base that was here. So I think that the commitment that you make when you say that you'll serve on a board is very important, and you've done a good job of fulfilling that commitment. And welcome to new board members, for sure. And thank you, Ms. Eldridge, for including specifics about the HR report. I'm probably the one that asked about that, and I hope that you keep doing it because I, for one, found it to be something good to be added to your report. Just really quickly, I wanted to say something about career and education, career and technical education. Mr. Rice asked in his comments to questions about the agenda if there are student organizations associated with CTE classes, and if so, is there stipends for them and so forth. I'm not encompassing your question exactly, but you did talk about that. I'm on the attendance committee, and we frequently end up finding ourselves talking about, of course, keeping kids in school. And one of the things we come to is career and technical education as a way to keep kids interested because they get hands-on learning, they get relevant experience. And so it strikes me that it's a really important thing to follow up on if there are clubs who can help them stay engaged with CTE education, that might help them stay engaged in school. And Dr. Medley had it in her report too, though she didn't say it out loud, but it was in her written report. So hopefully, you know, you all will talk about it and work on that because it seems like something that's really, really important. That's all I had to say, but you know, I had to say something.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
47 seconds left.
Yep,
too.
yeah. All right, Nikki Crowley.
Okay, so this is Nikki Crowley parent, not Nikki Crowley nor speaking, but I just wanted to thank board members for their service and everything, just really appreciated that. And I welcome the new board members and excited for that. The one thing I did want to speak about was to advocate again for the work sessions to be televised on YouTube. It is really hard for parents, community members to attend multiple meetings and things like that. And this is part of my job is to come to stuff like this and things. And I know for many parents, being able, I go back and watch our county commissioners and watch their meetings when I can't attend. I watch their work sessions when I can't attend. Same with city council. I take advantage of those YouTube things. And plus I can listen to them at time and a half and it moves fast, which is really nice. But I know there's been some challenges, but there are so many things on that consent calendar that discussions are happening where you have to be present to know why decisions are being made. And I appreciate moving these meetings quick, really focused on data, really focused on outcomes, but I think there's a lot of knowledge that parents and community members are missing with not having that one televised. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Okay, one goes back to Deb, please.
Okay.
All right. We will move to board discussion.
The discussion as far as the CTE organizations, any CTE class is required to be set up as a program, say in ag. You have to show in your program approval that you are providing a leadership strand. That's what the youth organization is about, is a leadership strand. And that is a requirement for any CTE class. So it's not a choice of having the FFA, it's a requirement. It has to be, and it has to be integrated into the classroom. That's one of the requirements too. It's an intracurricular, not extra. So that was my question on that, and B was about, just to clarify that with everybody so that they understand that. So if you would like to learn any more on CTE, Friday morning at 9:15 at CASB, I get to do a breakout session on CTE for the state up there too. So yeah, any time that any of this comes up, I'd be glad to try to share any background with anybody on it as far as that. So.
Perfect, thank you, Ed.
And Nikki, you really need your life. That's all you do is watch those.
But it's a time and a half. It's a time and a half, like, yeah. She's got it figured out. Okay.
Can we confirm that we still have Ms. Wright before we start voting?
Yeah, where's the, put her on speaker.
Sherry?
Put it back on speaker.
Might have to turn her back.
Take it off of mute.
Okay,
All right, we're gonna have the vote items here in just a second.
okay. You're in bed, so I'm good.
Do you have anything for board discussion?
No.
No, okay. All right, then we will move on to our action items. Action item A, resignation of board member Jeanette Hart.
Madam President, I recommend that we accept the resignation of board member Jeanette Hart.
I make a motion to accept Jeanette's resignation.
I'll second.
Okay.
Online voting is now available.
Sherry, what's your vote?
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, action item B, the resolution declare a Board of Education vacancy for District B.
I believe that will have to be read.
Whereas on October 3rd, 2023, Montezuma-Cortez School District Board of Education Treasurer Jeanette Hart submitted a resignation from the board to be effective October 31st, 2023. Now therefore, we, the Board of Directors of Montezuma-Cortez School District, hereby accept the resignation of Jeanette Hart from the board effective October 3rd, 2023. And be it further resolved by the Board of Directors of Montezuma-Cortez School District that in accordance with the state law, the board declares a vacancy in the school director office that will be filled by appointment by the board within 60 days pursuant to the following procedure. Interested persons are invited to send a letter to the board with a statement of interest and qualification by December 11th, 2023. It is recommended that the letter of interest address the following: educational background, knowledge of how a school district operates, knowledge of board duties, reasons for interest to serve on the board, community and Montezuma-Cortez School District involvement, and a minimum of 2 letters of support, including one from a business leader and one from the civic leader. To be eligible for appointment, a candidate must be a registered elector of and residing in Montezuma-Cortez School District for at least the last 12 consecutive months. The appointee will serve until the next regular school biennial election in November of 2025. Applicants may deliver the required materials to Montezuma-Cortez School District RE-1. Attention, Deborah Ramsey, 400 North Elm Street, P.O. Box R, Cortez, Colorado 81321, or via email at debramsey@cortez.k12.co.us. For questions, please contact Deb Ramsey, Executive Assistant to the Superintendent and School Board at 970-564-4187 or via email at debramsey@cortez.k12.co.us. Approved and adopted this 28th day of November 2023.
I make a recommendation, Madam President, that we adopt the resolution as read by Member Rice. Secretary. Go ahead, sir.
I make a motion that we accept the resolution.
I'll second.
Mr. Wall or Mr. Wells, which one of you seconded?
You can have it.
Okay. Wall.
Don't have fun.
Yeah, I don't know. You're only in the top 3. We'll give him 3.
How do you vote, Sharon?
You can hold it for longer.
Online voting is now available. I heard you, Ms. Rennie. Mr. Wall, thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar for November 28th of 2023?
Madam President, I recommend that we approve the consent calendar as presented for November 28th, 2023.
Second.
Online voting is now available.
Ms. Rice?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. Action item D, new board of directors oath of office.
So you have your box.
Okay. We're gonna do that first, right?
We'll do that and then me and Judge Lawrence, when we get organized.
No, you just sit right here first, though. We can.
We're having this too.
Yeah.
It's just sign it. It's sign.
I think we're gonna do it later.
Yes.
That was a good one. That's good. Yeah.
You take it over here.
So this has raised name because they're one for Leland.
If they're all, they're.
Sure. Want to do the box first? Yeah.
Just do that. Do that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they're getting ready. Deb and Cherry. We have come together and gotten a few things for a few people. And special folks for our outgoing board, Mr. Wells. Thank you for all you've done.
Here, I'll take 2 notes.
Hearts. Sherry Wright, we have something for you, Sherry.
You were here, you could get it.
That's I know he doesn't fit. We might, if it doesn't fit.
My friend. For you for your service and new vest.
Wow,
Even though we are
I'll take that back then 3.
Okay.
Thank you.
To my colleague and other teacher, Mr. Frazier.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, we'll do that. And then.
Those are,
Yeah,
I think we'll wait for those, huh?
okay, I think, this topic.
Student representative? We got an incoming one of those.
Congratulations. Now it's your.
Judge Lawrence has been willing to come help us with our group tonight. We appreciate her coming. We'll let her take over, but everyone that takes their oath, you have to slow down long enough for me to get a picture. Okay, come on up.
So thank you for having me. It's my honor to be here. We'll start with Mr. O'Brien. Good, please step right up here. Raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I, Rafe O'Brien.
I, Rick O'Brien,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully perform the duties
that I will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of school director
of the office of school director
as required by law,
as required by law,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and I will support the Constitution of the United States. Constitution of the State of Colorado.
and the laws made pursuant thereto.
Then you're gonna sign something for me too.
You'll sign and then I'll sign for you.
Always with the board.
Go see Ms. Randall.
One of those is for you. One of those is for.
Oh, one of those is mine. Just make it.
Wait, I have to sign.
Oh. See, just got ahead of myself.
You guys can all see how he does it, so you know.
Yeah, you guys are doing the test one.
Thank you.
And then I just find my notary report. I did, okay.
Just making sure.
You weren't even looking, but you were smiling.
Good. At least you caught.
And then you sign this affidavit of confidentiality. And I'll sign, I'll let you walk away with one. It should be.
Yeah.
We're doing this alphabetically by district, if you didn't know. Oh. Okay.
I don't know, you're crazy. Do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties
That I will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of school director
of the office of school director
as required by law,
as required by law,
and will support the Constitution of the United States
and will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Colorado
and the Constitution of the State of Colorado
and the laws made pursuant thereto.
and the laws made pursuant thereto.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Fancy.
My notary book. And then. the affidavit. Affidavit for confidentiality. Thank you. I'm going to give you this.
Collins. I must say it is a pleasure, as you were one of my English students. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Leland Collins.
I, Leland Collins,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully perform
that I will do
the duties of the office of school director,
the
the duties of the office as required by law, and will support the Constitution of the United States
and will support
and the Constitution of the State of Colorado and the laws made pursuant thereto. Congratulations. I should just leave it.
Those is for you. That's yours. And then you'll sign the notary book. It's the confidentiality process. They did get a chance to pre-read this stuff. Mine's worked on, so if anyone's with.
No, it's no.
No, really need to sign that. Thank you. And Mr. Rose.
I, Mike Welch, do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of school director
Duties of the office, school.
as required by law, and will support the Constitution of the United States
Constitution.
and the Constitution of the State of Colorado and the laws made pursuant thereto.
Laws made pursuant
That last sentence.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Go right ahead. Right ahead.
Absolutely.
You're already on that side. We're good.
So that next week when we go to Canopy, we all look the same. We're all gonna get shirts tonight. So Ray, my former student, welcome to the board. It just said Ray.
Is that a fancy one?
Get the magnetic tile creation.
Fancy much.
Oh, I'm really.
Yeah, that-
Oh, yeah.
Is
Oh, yeah.
Hey, first the magnetic tile.
Shake it and we'll find it. Oh,
Yeah.
well, here's one right here, so I don't know if that's, who's next? Okay, so.
Yeah. Hey.
Sir.
There you go. Welcome forward. No, we don't have, because you were late. The election.
Yeah.
I'm always early.
Sorry.
Yep.
Legally? Mr. Collins? Congratulations. There, so we know who you are. All right. Mr. Lynch? Oh, you. There you are, sir. Well. So. They're all sworn in, so I guess this time we. The musical chairs and exchange seats.
Are you kicking me out?
I'm thinking so.
Congratulations, everybody.
Good.
No, it's up there, but it's okay. It belongs to
I like that.
Oh, here's an extra.
I bet this one.
I think that one's it. Oh,
This one's, I love babies.
no, I bet you that's what happened.
Hey, thank you.
Try that one.
Bet that'll help.
They look excited.
That's what I'm always working.
Yeah, to me, it looks good.
Thank you.
Now, you outgoing board don't have to go far because we have a lot of refreshments out there.
Still gonna have questions. Thank you.
Yes, please take your name tags, not the
Not
not the holder, but the name tag.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna verbally vote.
I'm gonna pass this.
Things first. They might want us ABC, EFG.
Wherever you find an open seat, just find your spot.
I have the officers sit in the middle and then I put the newer board members to the outside. But we are about to vote on. No, you're fine.
Kind of a free for all.
Yeah. That is what we're doing.
Okay.
We got two spots over here.
Are we short one? Oh, because that's right, we had some.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here, I'll just.
Annika, would you help us by making this?
Here we go.
One more person?
Oh, there it is. We got. Should we be there? There's a spot down there.
Yeah, right down here, Ray.
So confused.
Actually, I want to switch down there if you can sit there.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I can watch.
All right.
I don't take up too much space. You can
Take a seat in the crowd.
get my card.
All right. Wow. Okay, well.
All right, thank you.
Always. That'll work.
Okay, again, thank you for all of our past board members for your time and your services, and we just can't thank you enough. I mean, thank you. And then welcome to everybody sitting up here now. So I guess we will move on to our election of officers. Action item E. And I don't know, do we start off with president, then the vice president, and then?
We only have to vote on president and vice president, and then you guys can just appoint secretary and treasurer. That's my understanding. If I read it right.
Okay. All right.
Motion for somebody?
Yeah.
For president?
if you would like, if we'd like to take a motion or,
Discussion.
yeah, and then we would, that might be a question for, yeah, floor is open for nominations, basically. Yeah.
Just make sure.
Okay, yeah. And, honestly, if
I
I,
can make sure noise to president.
oh.
Second.
Okay.
I think you just got.
The way it works is I'm going to close nominations.
Okay, I had no point in there to respectfully decline, huh?
I did.
No.
Oh,
Okay, that was,
I don't
okay,
know electronic way to do that, I forgot. Yeah, I'll write it down.
so it was Ed, then,
Yeah, and Ray.
Yep.
and, right, okay. Alrighty. Well, actually, I'm happy
Vote on
to,
that.
vote on it. Okay.
Yeah.
No discussion.
I don't have one.
Okay, when we do have to do a verbal vote,
Mhm.
we do it alphabetically, so I'll call it out and it's a yay or a nay. So you know, because currently with one open seat, we have the chance for a tie when you vote, and nays goes to, if it's a tie, it goes to the nay. Okay? All right, Mr. Collins, how do you vote?
Yay.
I thought I was ready electronically, and I wasn't. You said yay? Thank you. Who's next? Mr. Lynch,
Yay.
Ms. Noyes? Can you vote?
Will I abstain? That way it wouldn't be a tie.
Be an abstain.
Yeah, I think I would need to abstain.
Thank you.
Decline.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yay.
Mr. Rice,
Yay.
Ms. Tracy? Yay. Motion passes unanimously. Mrs. Noyes continues to be our president.
Thank you.
And I would be happy to, yes. Saving some money.
Yeah. get the bright
Saving some money. Alrighty, okay, Vice President,
Open the floor.
open the floor for nominations.
I nominate Ed Rice for vice president.
I'll second that.
Hope that's all right, Ed.
Yeah.
I looked at you and you kind of gave me, I was like,
I was just going, I was just sorry.
well, I like you to be a little higher, if that's all right. That's just my opinion. Because you've been here quite a long time.
Okay, Mr. Collins,
Yeah.
Mr. Lynch,
Yeah.
Ms. Noyes,
Yes, yeah,
Mr. O'Brien,
Yay.
Mr. Rice, you abstain?
Sure.
Sure. Thank you. Playing along. Ms. Tracy? Yay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
all right, then we will move to just appoint the treasurer and the secretary. So,
I have a question. Is that something that we have to do today, not having Jeanette or not having a seventh? Or is that something that we need to do? Just out of curiosity, I just want to know.
My opinion would be that it does need to be done today because the treasurer position and the secretary position, both sides are payroll.
Okay, just.
So there's a lot of banking.
that district's new, so they lose, they don't get appointed.
Thank you all the February meeting for that one, right, Drew?
Paychecks.
Do we do this like a motion and then we vote for it too? Or because it's appointed, is that different?
So, yeah, if anybody'd like to offer up as treasurer or secretary, they may, and then if not, you will be voluntold.
Gotcha.
Secretary reads the resolutions and stuff whenever they're brought to the board and then signs all the stuff that Deborah gives you at the board meetings and stuff from all the resolutions and different things we do with the board. Doesn't matter.
I would rather be treasurer than
Not a
secretary.
real lot. So
Yeah, and it's, and honestly, Deb is amazing, secretary to Tom and then ourselves as well, as she kind of works as a administrative assistant to us as well. So we just have,
Are you gonna?
No.
Cause I was gonna be for treasurer.
Well, then, right back at you then.
Or Mike.
Go ahead.
Yes, more Mike was my next one, yeah.
Do Mike and Rafe want to fight over who wants to be secretary or Leland?
Not, there's no need to fight.
You're just gonna hand it over, just walk away?
I guess I'll
Okay.
I'll be secretary. If someone wants to make a motion for that, I'll do it.
Well, and I don't know if we have to.
yeah,
Or vote on that.
motion it.
Question,
Yes,
what is the term of the position? How
2
long?
years. 2 years.
2 years?
You typically reorganize the board every time you have an election.
Okay, so then I made a note here that treasurer will be Rhonda Tracy. Was that what?
I would make a motion to make.
And the
Rhonda Tracy.
secretary would be Rafe O'Brien?
Yeah, I guess, oh,
Rafe is secretary, Rhonda as, unless either of you would like to throw your names in the ring. Not yet, you'll wait. Yep, just, okay. And honestly, it's not, it's not
I got you.
too much
I read it.
added, yeah. Just trying to get the cards taken care of at the banks. So if we can get that squared away and handled sooner than later, that's just, it seems like we kind of ran into
We did.
kind of a speed bump or something for some reason this last couple months on something like that, so. Okay. All right, then, with that all being behind us, thank you guys for stepping up and joining the board. We're glad to have you. Look forward to working with all of you, and we will get some trainings and some mentoring and some different things going. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting at 7:42.
Board members that just became officers, I need their signatures for the bank. If you sign, please sign. I have such a beautiful big and bright. And we will.
Oh, I
We're donating like $8 or something to scholarships.
I'll turn the paper around.
Sign up here and I'll find you.
That was.
You just gotta do it once and then I'm gonna scan it like.
I was wondering if are they offering a scholarship?
Contract. I was concerned about. We have two things. First, workers. And then.
Mine changes so much.